everybody. Welcome to Baphomet's Lounge. I'm your host, the incomparable NSS. Today I'm in the palatial estate of my Uncle Rick and Lizzie. Was hanging out with them today. Me and the pup came up for a visit. And while we're chilling out here in the nice, beautiful pastoral area here, I decided today I want to talk to you about vinyl records versus CDs. And I know there's a huge thing about vinyl these days, and everyone's hot to trot about it. And so I know a lot of people say that vinyl sounds better. And that may be your opinion, and I've got nothing against that. And if you think it sounds better to you, I'm happy for you. The one thing that vinyl records did, there's two things that vinyl records did over the CD. One, the album art. You had it this big, and it was beautiful. Two, you forced, because you could only have so many minutes per side, 15 minutes or so. If you got more than that, you had to cut deeper. It grooves. You kind of forced the albums to stay at least about 42 minutes, which when the CDs came out and they realized, holy shit, we could do, an hour or over an hour worth. They put every B-side, every shit song on there. In a lot of ways, that sucked in the 90s when they realized that. But an album, an LP, is absolutely driven by the vibration of a needle. So when they master for LP, they can't put in the low lows or the super high highs on it, because that vibration of the needle, if it's very boomy and bassy, that needle will bounce all over the place, okay? That is why sonically, there's no way an album will sound better than a nicely remastered CD. And I want to stress remastered because of the fact that when the 90s came out, if you have a CD right now and you take a cassette tape and dump the contents directly onto a CD, the sound on that CD will be as good as that cassette tape, all right? The only difference is that the cassette tape over time will degenerate, but the CD will not. So if you were to play this continually at certain intervals, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, this will not sound as good as this. This will be the perfect capture. So in the 80s, when they first released CDs, they grabbed the album masters and threw them right onto CD. That's one of the reasons I can't even go to used CD stores and buy CDs anymore, because all of those are the old album masters, and they give me a headache. They just don't sound good. What they started doing in the 2000s and later on was that they started to grab the original masters, take those original masters, and run them through and remaster them for CDs, so that you had stuff where you got your low lows, you got your high highs, and squeezing the dynamics a little bit more. And there's the Elton John series that came out. There's a lot of really good remasters, especially Elton John, because Gus Durjan, the original producer, went through to the original tapes and observed the master. So those were some of the things that were done. But if you bought those old 80 CDs that were printed in the 80s, they were just the LP masters. They did not sound better than the album. They can't sound better than the album. They're actually sourced from the album. And maybe next week's episode I'll talk about the difference between remixing and remastering, because of there's remixing older stuff has become the rage lately, and I'm still on the fence about it. So we could discuss that out, but that is the difference. So if in your heart of hearts you feel that the LP, the vinyl record, sounds better than a CD, if it is one of the 80s cuts and the 90s cuts, yes, in theory it sounds identical, okay? But if you have a truly well-mastered CD, there is no way in hell that the album sounds better. But you're just enjoying the vinyl for a memory that you heard. You like the sound, you like the crackle, you like the hiss. If it makes you feel better, cool. All right, everybody, that's it for now. I'll talk to you next time. Stay cool. Peace.
Bye-bye.